Hello, I'm Jeremy, and today I will be sharing with you Dorothea Lange's popular works, and then using these works and analyzing them using perspectives from Leicester's visual communication, images with messages. Dorothea Lange is an American documentary photographer and photojournalist who was born in 1895 in Hoboken, New Jersey. She studied her photography at Columbia University in New York and later moved out to California, where she began her career in shooting portraits in a studio. Um, However, she then later became more interested in documenting the life that was happening right outside of her studio in San Francisco during the Great Depression. Following her work in the studio, she began working for the RA, also known as the Resettlement Administration, and later known as the Farm Security Administration. This was basically a Depression-era government agency that was formed to raise public awareness of and provide aid to those struggling farmers. There, she was able to take pictures documenting life during this Depression era. Photographs might include the Migrant Mother and Woman of the High Plains, and we'll look at those images here shortly. Dorothea Lange was not at all interested in classifying her work as art, but rather she classified her art as a symbol or a sign or message for social change. She had sort of this commitment to social justice and her faith in the power of photography throughout her career and life. Today, majority of her works can be found in the Museum of Modern Art, where they have a room dedicated to her work. In 2003, Lange was inducted into the National Women's Hall of Fame. 3 years later, there was an elementary school founded and was named in her honor in Nipomo, California. In 2008, she was inducted into the California Hall of Fame, which is located at the California Museum for History. And in 2018, her hometown of Hoboken, New Jersey, actually honored her with a mural, and this depicted Dorothy and two other prominent women for Hoboken's history, who is Maria Pepe and Dorothy McNeil, and you can see the mural there on the screen. Here is her White Angel Breadline photo in San Francisco that was taken back in 1933. This is one of her first attempts at street photography, and this is taken well before that she started working for the government for the RA. Here you can see that she recorded a hungry person at the White Angel Jungle, which is a soup kitchen near Lange's San Francisco studio. Louise Jordan, the, quote, White Angel, was working class widow of limited resources who relied on unsolicited donations to run the Breadline. Jordan's compassionate and practical response to human suffering likely contributed to Lange's decision to leave her portrait studio practice and begin using her camera as a tool for social change. In Dorothea's work for the Farm Security Administration, in 1936 she took this image that you see on the screen, which is Migrant Mother in Nipomo, California. This was where she recorded, she was driving down and she had to turn around, and this woman lives on a pea picker farm. And so she recorded this 32-year-old woman named Florence Thompson. In the photo you can see her with 3 children. You see one in her arms and 2 on both sides of her shoulders. And Dorothea had the uncanny ability to see people as both individuals as representative types, to recognize the iconic and the ordinary. So here in Lange's Migrant Mother, it becomes a symbol of both strife and fortitude in the face of adversity, suggesting the conditions of millions of her fellow Americans. Woman of the High Plains, Texas Panhandle was taken in 1938. Seen in this photograph, the woman has become a monumental figure. set against the open sky and the unforgiving earth. Looking at her gesture, it's full of suffering, but it doesn't really tell us anything specific about her lives or her travails. Yet the sunlight does fall right on her flesh, as if she's like hot outside, and the cloth that she is wearing is very worn out. Like we see a hole in the underneath of the armpit, so it's very worn out. So we can see the struggle that she's living through. Now, looking at all three of these works, we can see very similar aspects in all of the photographs. So the first one is looking at the technical perspective. In her photos, she tends to use natural lighting. She's using the lighting that's coming from the sky or from outside, which is the sunlight. She's not bringing any fictional lighting into the photograph. Another technical perspective that really comes out easily is that in her photos, she properly exposes the subjects with the use of shadows. So just looking at the panhandle one with the lady with her hand on her forehead, you can see those shadows on her clothing and on her face. Just gives the photo more meaning. And then moving on to the cultural perspective, she uses photography to document events. So she's not taking them for any other reason but to document what's going on, telling the story. Just like in that first one, the Breadline, like you can see how many people are there. He obviously looks very hungry there. Looking at the second one, she doesn't look very happy in that one. They're telling the story of the Great Depression era, is what her goal is. And last but not least, she uses photography to shed light on social issues and bringing changes to society. So like I said, her goal was to document the Great Depression era. And then it was very hard for me to go out and take a picture. So I got a picture from freshman year when I took a photography class when I was a CMI major. So this is a flower that was dying. So here you can see that there's shedding light right there on that dead flower. And the use of shadows in the photograph as well. And then here's my works cited. Thank you for listening. And you guys have a great day. Bye.